Hey, what's up? I'm Darkbblue, trying to help everyone enjoy games in depth. Let's continue our Elden Ring walkthrough guide. In this video, we'll be exploring the two legendary dungeons in Lamegrave, Castle Morn and Stormveil Castle. Since this is our first time exploring legendary dungeons, I'll be giving you a very detailed walkthrough as well as some general principles for this activity. Later on, you can rely on your own for dungeon exploration, which will reserve more fun for you. Let's start with Castle Morn. Before starting, equip the Stormblade skill. This is because we need to deal with some flying enemies later. If you are using a different weapon from Greatsword that may not be suitable for this skill, you can alternatively use a skill called Gravitas, dropped at the southwestern shore. The core principle of dungeon exploration is to see the environments as their essence. In the most essence, these dungeons are mazes, just decorated a lot by the art design to look like a real place. For example, the entrance plaza of this castle can be seen as a big room in a maze. There are 3 exits to this room except the entrance where you enter. The first one is to your left, which leads to a very short side route where a smithing stone tool can be looted. The second one is to go straight forward, which is the main route. And the third one is to go forward right, passing the demi-human group. This is a side route that allows you to loot more stuff before getting back to the main route. Currently, let's choose the third route. Here you see some flying demi-humans. Now use Stormblade or Gravitas against them. Then you can see that the fences are broken on the right side of this platform. Just jump down here and you see the next grace. This is a reminder that Elden Ring is a game where you can jump. Many secrets are hidden behind jumping, so make it a habit to check out if there's anything off a cliff. Keep going down and you will reach the next grace. Here, switch to Stamp Uppercut, Skill, and head to the boss arena. You can directly jump off the platform, so there's no need to climb the ladder. Lion 9 Misbegotten, a very easy boss. The light attacks from your greatsword can effectively stunlock him until he tries to use Warcry followed by Stamp, grant him temporary hyper armor. Upon this, you should also use your own Stamp. Afterward, we have one more thing to do in this castle. First of all, make sure you have talked to the girl at the entrance to Waiting Peninsula. Then, enter Castle Morn from the main gate again. This time, let's take the second exit straight forward. Once you reach the platform where we previously jumped off the cliff, this time take a left turn. In the end, you'll find a man. Talk to him and teleport back to the girl to talk to him again.
I'm Edgar. You can see the menials. They gave me good foul. I'm sorry, but whatever. You take this. I see. Thank you, but I can't. Even if they're to ensure that I'm in your debt for keeping this, I'm no longer unsafe. Thanks to you, and devote my arena as I only hope. How could this be? My daughter deserves a full life. I chose, and I'll the foul will hunt them. That's assured.
Now our business at Castle Morn is all done. Let's go exploring Stoneville Castle. We'll need to first go through a cliffside area where there are many Stormhawks. Since they are rather agile, I recommend using Gravitas instead of Stormblade.
You there? Come over. It's tight. Oh, God, you breached. Yeah, you're.
After some time, you get inside the room. At its very top, there's a small and dark room. Before going in, make sure you light up the lantern and unequip all right-hand weapons except the greatsword. Here, you need to fight a banished knight with sword and shield. Our strategy is to stay away from him until he uses shield bash and leaping attack, which creates an opening for an easy backstab. Afterward, switch to bare hand and use your skill, which is now set to kick by default. After being kicked, the knight's armor will make a series of clinching sounds. Pay attention to these sounds and kick again at the 5th sound. This will create a short opening for the knight to recover from the stagger when he's likely to start to guard with his shield. This allows you to break his guard with a kick and land a fatal attack. In the end, remember to grab the key and the talisman in the room before leaving. Follow the path until you see the other variant of Banished Knight, the ones with halberds. They are easier to deal with. Just repeat jumping attack. You can notice that they will attempt to attack between two staggers, but the window is not long enough for them to actually land the hit. Therefore, this is effectively a stun lock. Get upstairs to reach the next grace. Now let's do another practice of seeing this room as its essence. Starting from this grace, there are many exits. One is where you come here, and if you go upstairs more, you will enter a side route. Going outside from the other side is the main path, and finally, an elevator nearby is a shortcut to be unlocked later. You can explore the side route upstairs a bit on your own, and then go to the main path with Gravitas skill equipped. Just before the doorway, you can notice some plates stretching out from the cliff. Recall that there are many secrets hidden behind jumping. Now, let's jump to the rooftop on the other side and climb up the broken pillar. At the end of this detour, you'll loot Claw Talisman, which increases the damage of jump attacks. Teleport back to the previous grace and clear the hogs with gravitas. Note the little balcony on the left side. There's another secret hidden off the cliff. But you meet a very tough enemy there, so don't go down the cliff this early. At the end of the platform, there's a smithing stone tool hidden in the corner. Such secret loots are also very common. Inside the room, there's an NPC. He sells some magic skills which are generally useless to a Faith character. Nevertheless, the spinning weapon can be a bit useful. Into the room, you can notice a grafted Scion at the ground floor, who can be very tough to fight. So it's time to introduce the third and final dungeon exploration principle. In similar cases to this one, you can skip the fight and go activating shortcuts or graces first, before you return to the fight with more confidence. For example, let's jump down across the fence and activate the elevator. As for the enemy, you can use a shield and stay near him to find openings. The reason why we use a shield is that he has many quick attacks that can be hard to react. After the fight, note the two doors near the elevator. Behind one door there are two dogs and a key item. Hand it to the girl in the shack to be rewarded a golden seed. And behind the other door, you can loot an affinity wet blade, which allows you to change the affinity of weapons. So what is affinity? Let's start with a glance at a weapon's status panel. As you can see, the total attack value is comprised of two parts, a basic attack and a scaling attack. The scaling attack is the amount of attack increased by the 5 offensive attributes, and how much each attribute can scale this weapon is indicated by the 5-letter grace, where S is the highest. Affinity will simultaneously change the basic attack and scaling grace of a weapon. For example, the heavy affinity will reduce the basic attack and significantly increase the strength scaling while lowering other attributes scaling. Previously, you can only use the affinity inherently carried by an Ash of War. Now, with the new Wet Blade, you can change affinity with less restrictions. As a strength and phase character, we'll be mainly using Heavy, Fire, Holy, and Flame Art. Leave the room from this door to get to the main plaza. There are many foes. Make use of this small structure to defeat them. Then, outside the plaza, you can see an omen with a dog. This dog will be damaged by the omen, so it's recommended to kill the dog first. So the omen can be staggered by a jump attack from the greatsword most of the time. When it's using martial attacks, however, such stagger won't trigger. Another tip for you is the omen is likely to do a martial attack after being staggered, so you can land a jump attack from afar, roll backward, and jump attack again. There's a grace in the room to your left. If you decide to rest here, remember to defeat the omen and dog again before going forward. In this room, you meet Netflix.
You were a fine man. Your only mistake was your choice of master. Let the wind, well, tarnished. I am Nepheli. I'm hereby decree how this grafting is tainted the If I ask you call it the winds run, I'm certain for. Apologies, as fellow down whatever.
There's a troll at the end of the road, fated to where the omen was, and it'll break the statue for you to loot another smithing stone too. Head back to the end of the road to the Grace. On the other side, the scribe will drop Stormcaller. Beside the Grace is the entrance to the boss arena, but that's the content of the next video. For now, let's do some side road exploration in this castle. Note that this is totally optional, you can safely skip this part if you find it too difficult. First, teleport to the Grace near the Omen. There's a platform of the cliff. At the end of this route, you will be fighting a tree spirit. The basic strategy is to create some distance every time you attack it. This allows you to more easily observe its moves. Then, at half HP, it will use a set move, which is a very large AoE explosion. You need to get away from it in advance. After the fight, you will get a golden seed. The second side route starts where you get the Claw Talisman. Before heading out, remember to equip Stormcaller skill. In the end, you will get back to the front gate of the castle. On the other side of the plaza, there's a lion, which can be staggered by Stormcaller. Just know that, although the first few hits can stagger it, the final blow cannot, so you are advised not to use Stormcaller successively. Enter the building and you will eventually reach the Divine Tower of Limgrave. After defeating Godric, you can activate the Great Rune at this tower. So that's all for this video. We have explored the 2 legendary dungeons in Limgrave in detail. Plus, we have learned 3 principles for dungeon exploration. 1. See the maps from an abstract perspective, seeing them as mazes. 2. Pay attention to secrets hidden behind jumping. And 3. Skip some tough fights, activating shortcuts or braces first. Now you have homework. Upgrade your greatsword to +6. If you have it done, it shows that you are really a master of exploration. Congratulations in advance. If you want to play games into depth together with me, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you around.